Ladies and gentlemen, I'm IWN and I'm back here with a video for your January the 10th, 2022. In this video, I'm going to be giving you all my thoughts on AEW Dynamite's TBS debut episode from last week. Now, before I do that, be sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. That way, you won't miss a single video that gets uploaded to this channel each and every single week. Also, follow me on Twitter at IWN Gamer because I have a new Twitter account now. My main Twitter account got suspended for abusive behavior. Add me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram at IngramBA843. You know the deal, guys. We're going to go ahead and get to it. Now, my thoughts on this AEW Dynamite TBS debut episode. It was another great AEW Dynamite episode, but especially for opening the year and the TBS era. Now, opening with the AEW World Championship was a great move because it, again, gives the match time to breathe and does make you wonder if they'll go to the hour limit again. It didn't quite go that long, but that was also very fitting. All that blood was concerning, especially as Bryan looked pretty bloody pretty quickly. But in the end, Heyman retains, and there's a lot of matchups they can go with from here. Maybe Miro shows up. Maybe they go with who is actually ranked next. Maybe Heyman calls out someone he's been wanting to face. The Acclaim calling out Darby and Sting was logical. I am not looking forward to their new diss music video. Their diss music videos fucking suck. Then I find it a little disappointing, but still pretty creative, that Punk cost MJF his match by attacking Dean. The promos were good, and we still figured out Wardlow would be set up against Punk. Now, Wardlow, of course, dominates, destroys, and annihilates his opponents, even with Spears getting his shot in first. Now, Wardlow versus Punk could turn into a mess if Spears and or MJF are ringside. And of course, another of the Go Big Show celebrity judges puts Cody over. The Wagner was good stuff. Wow, I'm sure it'll be a great match. I feel like Cody retains to keep the TNT title part of his story. Now, Jericho had a decent promo segment with 2.0. Of course, he brought up Square Head again, but clearly things aren't settled with Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz in their no-holds-barred six-man match. Is going to be great stuff. I feel like the only way this ends is with Jericho and Kingston having a match together against 2.0. We also got a good promo from No Longer Undisputed Era plugging Jake Atlas being signed, but also their own story with the Young Bucks. I think the Undisputed Era Young Bucks is going to be one of the greatest storylines in AEW television history. Now, Cole versus Atlas is going to be very good, and I wonder if Red Dragon and the Bucks will go in each other's way, trying to help Cole further the tension between them. That's going to be some great, good stuff right there, man. It's going to be some awesome stuff. Serena Dibbs had a very good interview pro segment with JR, and she is going to have one hell of a match with Sheeta. The TBS Championship match was also great. The story of Ruby's arm and Jade's leg was well done, but it was pretty clear Jade was going to win. She easily came up with the great catchphrase, that bitch show. The heel as the champion is a great standard for faces to chase her. And it'll be even bigger when someone finally beats Jade, because then Jade's first loss will also lose the title. I don't know why these geeks on Twitter from last week shitting on the Jade Cargill and Ruby Soho TBS Championship match. Clearly, that women's match was better than the women's matches we get every week on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, which happens to be rematches after women's rematches after women's rematches. So be grateful that you got a women's match that's better than the women's matches we get on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Now, Brett and Ruby had a good segment backstage, including the brawl with Hayter and Riho jumping in. Their tag match is going to be good. It could be a very telling story about the math. But I sense then that Britt loses the title somehow. She loses the tag match. Not the tag match. So that she finally beats Riho 1 versus 1. Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman Jr. was really good. But naturally Malachi wins. He's building up while his faction is forming in the shadows. Yet I cannot wait for the moment the House of Black is fully realized. House of Black is one of the greatest megastars that AEW has. I hope they don't fuck him up like WWE did. I also like the segments being arranged so that they can use connect stories, aka the Lucha Brothers wanting to avenge Pac again. Another moment where Malachi is waiting for his faction to form, and then he'll take on, well, it'll just have to be Penta for Death Triangle, because Phoenix legit dislocated his elbow in that main event from last week. But from what I heard, he's okay. So aside from that, this was an awesome main event. I was surprised that Jurassic Express won. I mean, let's be honest, I wasn't that surprised, but I was a little bit surprised. At the same time, though, knowing Phoenix was legit injured, they could have called an audible. But the Lucha Bros would probably have had to vacate the titles at this point. So putting it on Jurassic Express instead keeps things moving smoothly. Now, no need for a vacant title tournament situation. No need for that. Just send the next teams up. Jurassic Express against any one of those teams that stood on stages makes for good stuff. And maybe this helps get teams like Private Party or Proud and Powerful back in the mix after being pulled off by faction-based story detours. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed hearing me explain to you all my thoughts on AEW Dynamite TBS debut episode last week, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below on what you thought of AEW Dynamite's TBS debut. I want to know from you guys personally. I think it was fucking phenomenal, if you ask me. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to be dropping another video. It'll be tomorrow. It's going to be a video on me giving you all my thoughts on the WWE Impact Wrestling Partnership. So, be sure you tune in to watch that one once that gets published to YouTube. Guys, I am out of here. Peace.